Nuclear war is a pretty terrible thing. But just in case you didn't already know that, then DEFCON will definitely open up your eyes. This is not a game where you play to win. This is a game where you play to lose the least. Released in 2006 by Introversion Software, DEFCON is a small real-time strategy game where the objective is to wipe out as much of the enemy's population as possible via the use of nuclear arms, while still defending your own. On the surface, it's a really simple game with a really simple aesthetic, which is very akin to the 1983 film War Games. However, as you begin to play, advanced strategies will begin to emerge, and you may find yourself in a position where you can do nothing but watch as millions of your own people die before a simple white flash. Now, before I get too deep, let's talk about the gameplay. DEFCON sees you take control of one of 6 territories around the world, those being the Americas, Africa, Europe, Russia and Asia. Each territory starts off with 100 million people by default, and it is your job to protect yours and kill everyone else. You have a variety of strategic buildings and units in your arsenal, ranging from radars and missile silos to fighter jets and nuclear submarines, all of which serve different purposes. The game progresses as it counts down through the 5 DEFCON states, with DEFCON 5 being the safest, DEFCON 1 being all-out nuclear war, and everything in between slowly escalating the types of actions that you can perform. After the total amount of nukes in the world drops below a certain number, a victory timer begins to count down, and at 0 the game will freeze and show the statistics of all players, including things like the total kills, the total deaths, and the total amount of survivors left, etc. And with that, you're then left to contemplate either what you did to deserve a crater for a continent, or how much of a bad person you are for murdering millions of helpless human beings. Or you can jump straight back into another game to give everyone a nice uranium breakfast. Now, whilst this is a very simplistic game, you'd be surprised at the amount of variety that's on offer. There's support for up to 6 players, but an interesting mechanic is the alliance system, which allows you to team up with a number of other territories and share assets to reach mutual goals. However, these alliances can be broken at any time, which can lead to some very interesting situations with other players. Aside from this, there is also several different game modes and scoring systems which have an array of advanced game options to allow you to tailor your experience as you see fit. There is also a really impressive amount of general options on offer, allowing you to customize everything from the colours and fonts of the windows, and even the in-game map, should they not be to your taste. So, why exactly do I love this game so much? Well, to put it simply, this is one of the most atmospheric games that I've ever played. From the moment you launch the game and you see the main menu, you're thrust into an eerily quiet environment, with nuclear-related statistics feeding down the screen, little sounds in the distance of people crying, and one little message in the bottom right corner that simply reads, "Everybody dies." And then, when you're ready up and start your game, you're greeted with a soundtrack that is so haunting and bleak that it constantly reminds you that you are not doing good things. It is this, combined with the subtle details like text saying, "City hit, X million amount of people dead," or how when your people die, the music slowly goes down in pitch, that really make this game have an almost scary aspect to it if you look at it in the right way. The sheer sense of dread and anticipation comes to a head during the latter stages of the game, when the entire map is just filled with missiles from different continents, all heading towards different targets across the globe, destined to wipe out millions upon millions of innocent people. It is this moment in every game of DEFCON that is the most unnerving, when all you can do is watch and pray that your defences can protect your people, if you even have them enabled. This isn't to say that DEFCON is not a fun game. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I just think it's fun in a different kind of way. I enjoy the dark and twisted atmosphere that this game has, and it is this and the large amount of ways to play that has kept me coming back to it game after game. When it comes down to it, I think that DEFCON is a prime example of that sometimes less is more. The simplicity of everything only enhances what the game is trying to do, and that is to not only let the player have fun, but to also get them to think about the consequences of their actions. You can play against the AI, or people from around the world, but it doesn't matter, because in the end, everybody dies.